You know precisely what needs to be done, yet something holds you back. Hours drift by, days disappear, and that task remains untouched. But what if I told you that motivation isn't the issue? Your mindset is. In just a few moments, I'll show you a simple mental shift that compels you to take action, even when you don't feel like it. Because unless you change this now, you'll keep watching your potential slip through your grasp. 1. The power of taking action. A common myth persists about success. The belief that one must feel inspired before taking action. This is a dangerous illusion. Success doesn't favor those who wait for motivation. It belongs to those who master the discipline to act regardless of how they feel. The truth is simple. Movement creates motivation. It doesn't precede action, it follows it. Many believe they must feel ready before they begin. They wait for the right timing, the ideal circumstance, a rush of inspiration that may never come. This delay is why countless dreams fade. But high achievers think differently. They understand that action breeds clarity. The moment they move, the path ahead begins to reveal itself. Every step uncovers insight once hidden behind hesitation. A young man once dreamed of financial success, but was paralyzed by inaction. He studied, prepared, and strategized, but never executed. He waited for inspiration, believing confidence would come first. But confidence is born from doing, not from waiting. You can't think your way into success. You must act your way into it. History is filled with those who moved forward despite uncertainty. Edison didn't wait for a spark of genius to invent the light bulb. He failed repeatedly until he succeeded. Henry Ford didn't wait for proof the automobile would thrive. He created the future through action. Their defining quality wasn't motivation, it was the courage to act in its absence. When a person moves, they interact with reality in ways thinking alone never can. They learn what works, what doesn't, and what needs adjusting. Each action replaces doubt with knowledge. On the other hand, those who wait remain trapped, stuck in loops of overthinking and self-doubt. The toughest part is always the beginning. That initial resistance feels like a mountain. But once you push through, momentum carries you. The mind rewards movement with clarity. What once seemed impossible starts to feel inevitable. A salesperson who hesitates before their first call feels frozen. But the moment they dial, something shifts. Fear fades, confidence grows, and each call gets easier. They didn't wait for courage, they moved, and courage followed. This principle is universal. The entrepreneur who launches without certainty, the writer who begins without inspiration, the speaker who steps forward despite nerves, all succeed not because they felt ready, but because they acted anyway. Success isn't paved with motivation. It's carved by discipline. Those who understand this never wait. They act whether they feel like it or not, knowing that motivation always finds those already in motion. 2. Overcoming fear and doubt. Fear stands as the great gatekeeper of growth, casting shadows at the start of every bold pursuit. It whispers, "What if I fail? What if I'm not enough?" These doubts take root and paralyze action. But here's the truth. Fear lies. Most of what you fear never comes to pass. And if it does, so what? Failure isn't the end. It's a stepping stone. Every successful person has failed far more often than they've succeeded. What separates them from the rest is simple. They kept moving. They didn't let fear dictate their choices. They knew progress doesn't come from pondering, it comes from doing. The first move is always the hardest, but it's the most important. Acting while afraid is what sets achievers apart from dreamers. Fear shrinks when you face it. It grows stronger the longer you wait. But the second you take a step, its grip loosens. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. Ask yourself, what's the worst case scenario? Can you handle it? Most of the time, the answer is yes. Humans are far more resilient than they realize. Most failures are temporary. Most mistakes are fixable. And even when things go truly wrong, you gain hard-earned lessons that push you forward. The mind inflates imagined consequences, making them feel impossible to overcome. But the only way to disarm fear Every small, deliberate step dissolves fear's illusion. Progress chips away at it until it has no more power. Think of fear as a towering wall. From far away, it looks unscalable. But when you get closer, you see cracks. You start climbing, and it turns out the wall wasn't that high after all. That's how fear works. It tricks you into thinking action is impossible, but in truth, only inaction stands in your way. Take Edwin C. Barnes. He dreamed of working with Edison. No money, no connections, just a vision and relentless determination. He could have been stopped by fear. Instead, he took action. He boarded a freight train, marched into Edison's office, and declared his intent to become a partner. Though he started in a low-level job, he held on to his dream. When opportunity came, he seized it and earned his place beside Edison. His story proves one thing: fear fades when met with firm action. So how do you overcome fear? Face it directly. Stop waiting for perfect timing. It doesn't exist. Act. Break your goal into small steps and tackle them one by one. Every action weakens fear's grip. Eventually, what once terrified you becomes just another hurdle. Remember, fear only has power if you give it permission. The real threat to your future isn't failure. It's not trying. The decision is yours. Will fear rule your life, or will you move forward anyway? That answer defines your path. Choose wisely. Choose action. 3. Destroying procrastination. How many times have you said, "I'll start tomorrow"? And how many times has tomorrow turned into next week? Or next year? Before you realize it, time has vanished, along with your dreams. The truth is, that perfect moment you're waiting for doesn't exist. Accepting this is the first step to taking control of your life. Procrastination is a silent thief. It disguises itself as planning, perfectionism, or the need to prepare more. You tell yourself you need more time, more knowledge, more confidence. But the longer you delay, the harder it becomes to begin. Every delay reinforces the habit of inaction. The only way to break the cycle is to act now. Even if it's imperfect, even if it's tiny, one flawed action is worth more than 100 perfect plans. Start with the 5-minute rule. Just commit to working on something for 5 minutes. No pressure, no overthinking. Most of the time, once you start, you'll keep going. Momentum is magic. It transforms hesitation into movement. Starting is always the hardest part, but once you do, everything becomes easier. Discipline is essential. Distractions are everywhere. Social media, messages, mindless entertainment. If you don't design your environment, it will design your failure. Set deadlines. Break tasks into small, manageable steps. Focus on consistency, not perfection. Small efforts done daily add up to massive results. Success doesn't come from what you occasionally do. Accountability helps. Tell someone your goals. Track your progress. Write things down. When you commit to yourself and others, it builds a sense of responsibility that keeps you going. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's the ability to act regardless of mood or conditions. Time is your most valuable asset. Every moment spent waiting is a moment lost forever. Your future is being created right now by what you choose to do or avoid. Will you keep postponing, or will you take control and begin today? The choice is yours, but remember, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. The only time you truly have is this moment. So stop waiting. Stop planning forever. Take the first step, no matter how messy or small, because action always wins over inaction. 4. Building self-discipline. Discipline isn't about suffering. It's about shaping yourself to succeed. It's a mindset, a decision to pursue excellence, a deep belief in your capacity to persist. Every time you follow through, you prove that you can rely on yourself. That builds trust, and trust builds confidence. Confidence fuels achievement. The secret to discipline isn't punishment. It's reinforcing habits that lead to victory. Every time you push through discomfort, it gets easier. The first time you stretch your limits, it feels unbearable. Your mind screams for comfort. But if you resist that pull, if you keep going when it's hard, you start to rewrite who you are. By reshaping your mental environment, you retrain your brain to welcome challenges rather than run from them. With time, what once felt unattainable becomes instinctual. You cultivate resilience, a kind of mental fortitude that transforms barriers into launch pads. Discipline isn't about doing what you want, it's about doing what's required, no matter your mood. If you depend on motivation alone, you become a slave to your emotions. Culture makes motivation fleeting. It drifts like the breeze, but discipline is something else entirely. It doesn't rely on how you feel or your level of excitement. It's a deliberate choice to move forward regardless of your emotional state. You don't bargain with your feelings. You don't wait to feel inspired. You don't seek out justifications. You act. When your alarm rings, you rise. When work calls, you answer. When trials appear, you confront them directly. This power to act despite emotion is what sets the achievers apart from the idle. Success isn't founded on motivation, it's rooted in consistency. Anyone can stay driven for a day, a week, or maybe a month, but what happens when the thrill fades? What happens after the excitement dies down? That's where discipline steps in. It's not about flashy gestures or temporary surges of inspiration. It's about showing up again and again, even when you're not feeling it. Consistency is the cornerstone of all true achievement. Those who realize their goals aren't always the most gifted or skilled. They are simply the ones who won't quit. They persist even when progress is slow, when exhaustion hits, when no one else is watching. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. Like any muscle, it needs repetition, effort, and deliberate practice. If you want to build discipline, you must start practicing it. Begin small. Get up when you say you will. Honor your commitment. Do the work even when you're uninspired. These simple acts of self-discipline build upon each other. Over time, they forge a sense of integrity, a quiet confidence that you can rely on yourself. And once you trust yourself at that level, your possibilities become infinite. The greatest rewards in life come to those who persist long after the thrill is gone. Starting is easy. Finishing is rare. The world is filled with people who began enthusiastically but gave up when things got tough. True discipline is about staying power. It's about pressing forward even when you feel like giving up, even when the path is unclear, even when the results aren't visible. That's when the breakthroughs come. That's when you distinguish yourself. Self-discipline is the bridge between your vision and your reality. It's the quiet force that takes you from where you are to where you dream of being. Without it, dreams stay dreams. With it, everything becomes possible. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a blessing. It's the highest form of self-love. It's the master key to unlocking your full potential. Train yourself to win, and there will be no ceiling to your achievements. 5, using pain as fuel. Pain is a powerful mentor. It can either dismantle you or shape you, and the choice is entirely yours. When adversity strikes, you face 2 paths: collapse under the weight or rise stronger than ever. Pain is unavoidable, but growth is optional. How you face life's trials determines your future. You can let hardship make you bitter or let it make you better. Every successful person has faced rejection, setbacks, and defeat. No one reaches greatness without bearing the marks of their struggles. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is simple. They don't let pain stop them. They transform it into energy that propels them forward. Pain becomes their forge, refining their minds, strengthening their spirits, solidifying their resolve. While others fall, they ascend. So next time life knocks you down, don't stay there. Rise. Stand taller, fiercer, more determined. Let pain sharpen you. Growth is never easy, and that's exactly why pain is so necessary. It forces you to stretch, to grow past your limits, to dismantle the lie of comfort. The most profound wisdom often comes through hardship, not ease. Pain engraves its lessons deep within you, sculpting you into who you were always meant to become. Discomfort is where change begins. When you feel pain, you're undergoing transformation. In these moments, you must choose. Will you let this pain control you, or will you master it? Most people run from pain. But the wise understand that pain is an ally. It pushes you when nothing else will. Once you stop fearing pain and start embracing it, you gain an incredible edge. You become unbreakable. Seeing pain as a companion instead of a threat shifts your entire approach. You no longer fear it, you stop treating it like a foe, and start honoring it. When you use pain as your drive, you unlock strength you never knew you had. You move beyond what you once thought possible. Think about the most resilient people in history. They all have one thing in common. They turned pain into power. They took rejection and used it to sharpen their craft. They endured grief and turned it into purpose. They faced failure and used it as a staircase to success. Pain shaped them into legends. You carry that same potential. You are far more capable than you believe if you're willing to embrace the fire. Don't run from the burn. Step into it. Let it forge you. Every time you feel pain, remind yourself, this is my transformation. This is where I grow. This is where I become who I'm meant to be. Life will challenge you. You will face obstacles. Some days the pain will feel overwhelming, but in those moments, remember, pain isn't your undoing. It's your making. It's the pressure that forms diamonds. So when the storm arrives, and it will, stand firm, face the pain. Don't cower, don't run, embrace it, channel it. Let it drive you forward. Because in truth, pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest guide. 6. Setting clear goals. If you lack direction, you'll never arrive. A life without goals is like a ship without a compass, adrift, aimless, without destination. Goals provide purpose, direction, and something to reach for. They give you clarity amid chaos and ensure that every action leads you toward the life you dream of. But just having goals isn't enough. They must be defined precisely. Vague ideas like, I want to be happy or I want success lack structure. Instead, establish goals that are clear, specific, and measurable. Ask yourself, what do I want exactly? By when? How will I know I'm making progress? The more detailed your vision, the easier it is to create a plan. Once your goals are clear, break them down into doable steps. A massive dream can feel overwhelming until it's divided into daily tasks. Every small step builds momentum. This transforms the impossible into the inevitable. But the single most important factor in goal setting is action. Without it, goals are just wishes, fading ideas with no real force. Act every single day, even in small ways. Consistency builds up over time and leads to powerful outcomes. The most successful people aren't always the smartest or most skilled. They're the ones who won't quit. A goal without a system is just fantasy. To turn your dreams into results, map out your steps. Write your goals down. This simple habit boosts commitment and reinforces your vision. Studies show that people who write their goals are far more likely to reach them. Once written, break them into monthly, weekly, and daily actions. This structure creates steady progress and keeps procrastination in check. Perfection kills momentum. Measure what's working and what's not. Discipline and responsibility are what separate achievers from dreamers. If needed, enlist someone to keep you accountable. A mentor, friend, or coach who can help keep you on track. Small wins matter. Celebrate them. Each milestone reached is proof that you're on the right path. Acknowledging progress boosts motivation and reinforces positive habits. Success is built on these incremental victories, not just the final achievement. Goals provide clarity and purpose, but only action turns them into reality. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they don't take consistent action. They hesitate, procrastinate, or give up when faced with challenges. But those who persevere, who execute their plans daily, who refuse to quit, these are the ones who achieve success. So define your goals, make a plan, take action every single day. Success is not a matter of luck. It is the inevitable outcome of relentless effort. If you refuse to give up, if you commit to progress, if you stay disciplined and focused, success is not a possibility, it is a certainty. Developing an unbreakable mindset. Your mindset is the bedrock of everything you do. It determines whether you rise to challenges or crumble under pressure. A weak mindset is like a house built on sand, easily shaken, fragile, and quick to collapse. But a strong mindset is unshakable, thriving in adversity, and transforming obstacles into stepping stones. Every challenge presents an opportunity, but only if you choose to see it that way. Life will test you. It will throw setbacks, failures, and unexpected hardships in your path. A fragile mindset sees these as reasons to give up, as proof that success is out of reach. A strong mindset, on the other hand, reframes these difficulties as lessons. When failure strikes, it doesn't break you, it educates you. It reveals weaknesses that need to be strengthened and strategies that need to be refined. Those who win in life aren't those who avoid failure. They are the ones who embrace it, learn from it, and come back stronger. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. If you constantly tell yourself, "I can't do this," you create a self-fulfilling prophecy of failure. But when you believe in your ability to overcome, you unlock hidden reserves of strength and resilience. The mind is a powerful force, shaping your actions and dictating your results. It all begins with what you choose to believe. A growth mindset is the secret weapon of high achievers. It sees potential in every situation. It doesn't view abilities as fixed, but as things that can be developed with effort and learning. Those who adopt this mindset are always improving, always evolving, and never satisfied with stagnation. They welcome challenges because they know that struggle leads to strength. Every difficulty they face becomes a tool for personal transformation. Strengthening your mindset requires feeding it the right thoughts. Just as a strong body needs the right nutrition, a strong mind needs the right influences. Surround yourself with positivity. People who uplift you, books that inspire you, and messages that fuel your ambition. Cut out negativity relentlessly. The company you keep, the content you consume, and the words you tell yourself all shape your mental state. If you allow toxic influences into your life, they will poison your mindset and drain your potential. Success isn't just about skill or talent. Many people with great abilities fail because they lack the mindset to persevere. True success belongs to those who refuse to quit, the person who keeps going despite obstacles, who gets back up after every fall, who keeps pushing forward no matter what. That is the person who eventually wins. It's not about being the smartest or the most gifted, it's about being the one who refuses to give up. When you cultivate a mindset that never surrenders, nothing can stand in your way. Challenges will arise, but they will not defeat you. Failures will happen, but they will not define you. Doubts will creep in, but they will not control you, because you have built a foundation of mental strength, and with that you can conquer anything. Mindset is everything. Train it, protect it, strengthen it, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never imagined possible. Surrounding yourself with winners, you become like the people you spend the most time with. This simple truth dictates the trajectory of your personal growth, success, and overall well-being. The company you keep has a profound influence on your mindset, habits, and choices. Surround yourself with those who push you to be better, and you will inevitably rise to new heights. Humans are social creatures, deeply influenced by the energy, attitudes, and behaviors of those around them. If you immerse yourself in a circle of individuals who inspire, challenge, and hold you accountable, you will find yourself adopting similar traits. These people will push you beyond your comfort zone, forcing you to confront your limitations and surpass them. They will expect more from you than you expect from yourself, and in turn, you will begin to rise to the challenge. Excellence becomes your standard, not an option. On the other hand, negativity, drama, and excuses are equally contagious. If you surround yourself with those who constantly complain, blame circumstances, or refuse to take responsibility for their actions, you will slowly absorb their mentality. Excuses become normal, mediocrity becomes acceptable. Without realizing it, you begin justifying inaction instead of pursuing growth. The weight of such negativity anchors you down, preventing you from reaching your full potential. Your environment is a reflection of your future. The people you interact with daily either fuel your progress or stifle your ambitions. If you spend time with those who take action, solve problems, and persist despite obstacles, you will start to embody those very characteristics. Their energy, discipline, and mindset will shape your own. When you observe their unwavering commitment to success, it reinforces your own belief that you too can achieve great things. Energy is contagious. Every conversation, every shared experience, and every interaction imprints itself on your subconscious. Choose wisely. If you want to elevate your life, you must first elevate your circle. This requires a conscious effort to seek out those who embody the values and aspirations you hold dear. It means cutting ties with relationships that drain you, limit you, or keep you trapped in old patterns of thinking. One of the most powerful ways to accelerate your growth is by seeking mentors. Mentors are individuals who have already walked the path you aspire to follow. They possess the wisdom, experience, and knowledge that can save you years of trial and error. Their insights challenge your perspectives, force you to think bigger, and provide you with the tools necessary to navigate your journey. A great mentor will not only teach you strategies for success, but will also hold you accountable for executing them. Beyond mentorship, actively build relationships with people who challenge you to work harder and grow stronger. These individuals will push you when you feel like giving up, remind you of your goals when you lose sight, and celebrate your victories when you achieve them. Their presence in your life is a catalyst for transformation. They will call you out when you make excuses, push you when you hesitate, and uplift you when you struggle. Your success is directly influenced by the company you keep. If your inner circle is composed of driven, disciplined, and forward-thinking individuals, you will naturally rise to their level. Conversely, if you are surrounded by negativity, complacency, and mediocrity, your growth will be stunted. Audit your relationships. Identify who adds value to your life and who detracts from it. Be ruthless in eliminating toxic influences and be intentional in cultivating meaningful connections. Ultimately, life is too short to be held back by those who refuse to grow. Your potential is limitless, but it is up to you to position yourself in an environment that nurtures that potential. Choose your circle wisely, for it is the foundation upon which your future is built. Elevate your relationships, and you will elevate your life. Mastering time management. Time is your most valuable resource. Every second that passes is a second you will never get back. Yet many people squander this finite asset on distractions and meaningless tasks, unaware of the irreversible loss. If you want to succeed, you must take full control of how you spend your time. Most people claim they do not have enough time, but the truth is they fail to manage it effectively. Time is the great equalizer. Every person on this planet gets the same 24 hours in a day. The difference between success and failure lies in how those hours are used. The world's most successful individuals do not possess more time than you do, they simply use it more efficiently. The first step to mastering your time is awareness. Track your daily activities and take note of where your time goes. You may be surprised by how much of your day is lost to trivial tasks, unnecessary meetings, and mindless distractions. Identifying these time thieves is crucial if you want to reclaim your schedule. Once you understand where your time is going, eliminate anything that does not serve your goals. Learn to say no to commitments that drain your energy and do not contribute to your progress. People often overload their schedules with activities that serve others' agendas rather than their own. Though reacting to your day, start planning it in advance. A well-structured schedule is a powerful tool. Instead of waking up and hoping to be productive, start each morning with a clear plan of action. Define your priorities the night before so you wake up knowing exactly what needs to be done. Break big goals into smaller, manageable daily tasks. This ensures consistent progress and prevents overwhelm. Success is not about perfection, it is about persistence and discipline. Excuses are the enemy of productivity. There will always be reasons to procrastinate, but none of them will bring you closer to your goals. If something is important, make time for it. If it is not, eliminate it. Your future. The most successful people don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it by using their time wisely. While technology is beneficial, it can also be one of the biggest sources of distraction. Social media alerts and aimless browsing can consume hours without you even realizing. If you find yourself constantly distracted, it's important to set boundaries. Limit screen time, turn off unnecessary notifications, and schedule deep focus periods. Guarding your time from distractions is one of the most valuable habits you can develop. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. You must commit to your schedule and hold yourself accountable. Set deadlines, and most importantly, honor them. Time is not just about being productive, it's about having purpose. Each moment spent working toward your goals is a step closer to the life you envision. When you take charge of your time, you take charge of your life. Productivity isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about knowing what truly matters and dedicating your time to those things. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It's how they manage their time. Your future depends on what you do with your time today. Stop making excuses. Stop wasting precious minutes on things that prioritize. Plan and execute with precision. The clock is always ticking, so make every second count. Embracing failure as feedback. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's an integral part of the journey toward achievement. The most successful people in history have failed more times than others have even tried. Their resilience, persistence, and willingness to learn from failure set them apart. Every failure brings with it a lesson, a chance to grow, and an opportunity to refine one's approach. Too often, people see failure as the end point, an undeniable judgment of their abilities. In reality, failure is simply feedback. It's a signal pointing to necessary adjustments. It's a process of elimination, showing us what doesn't work so we can find what does. The only true failure is quitting, giving up before you've learned everything there is to learn from setbacks. One of the biggest fears people have about failure is the fear of judgment. Society tends to celebrate success stories while often ignoring the struggles and failures that paved the way to those triumphs. This selective narrative creates a distorted view of success, making failure seem like an anomaly rather than a natural part of the journey. The truth is, failure is universal. Every great inventor, entrepreneur, artist, and leader has faced setbacks. The difference lies in how they respond to failure. They analyze, adapt, and persevere. Instead of feeling embarrassed by failure, we should wear it like a badge of effort, proof that we've stepped outside our comfort zones and taken risks. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The ability to bounce back from failure builds resilience, a key trait for long-term success. When we learn to accept failure, we become stronger, more adaptable, and better prepared for future challenges. Growth happens in discomfort. Success isn't about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning from them. The more we fail, the more we grow. This growth mindset transforms failures from roadblocks into stepping stones. Rather than fearing failure, we should train ourselves to see it as an opportunity for self-improvement. Every misstep teaches us something valuable about our skills, strategies, and even mindset. By refining our approach after each failure, we increase our chances of success in the long run. The key is to shift our perspective. When failure is viewed as an essential part of progress, it loses its power to discourage us. Instead of being paralyzed by setbacks, we can use them as motivation to push forward. The faster we fail, the faster we learn, and ultimately, the faster we succeed. Progress requires persistence, and persistence requires the courage to fail without losing momentum. History is filled with examples of people who turned failure into success. For instance, Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When asked about his failures, he famously said that he hadn't failed, he'd just found thousands of ways that didn't work. If the most successful people in the world have encountered failure time and time again, fear of failure holds many back from even trying. But those who embrace it as a stepping stone to success achieve greater things. The path to success is not a straight line. It's filled with ups and downs, setbacks and breakthroughs. What matters most is how we respond to failure. Do we retreat in fear, or do we adjust and move forward? In the end, success isn't about never failing, it's about never quitting. Those who accomplish great things are not necessarily the most talented or fortunate. They're the ones who refuse to be defeated by failure. They see failure as a teacher, a necessary part of the process. So keep pushing forward, refining your approach, and using failure as feedback. Every failure brings you closer to success, making you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The only real failure is giving up. Everything else is progress. The moment of decision. Right now, you have a choice. You can continue waiting, hesitating, and making excuses, or you can decide that today is the day everything changes, the day you stop talking and start doing. No more waiting, no more excuses, just action. Because success doesn't come from wishing, hoping, or dreaming, it comes from doing. Dreams remain dreams unless they are backed by effort and persistence. Many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or a sign to begin. But waiting won't bring results. The only way forward is to take that first step, no matter how small. Decide today that you are done waiting, done doubting yourself, and done holding back. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment to start. Conditions will never be 100% ideal. But those who succeed are not the ones who wait for perfection. They are the ones who take action despite uncertainty, fear, or discomfort. They push forward even when the odds are against them. Take control of your life by taking action now. Every successful person at some point made the decision to start. They didn't wait for confidence to appear magically. They built it through action. The only way to build confidence is by proving to yourself that you can do it. You don't need to have all the answers right now. You just need to begin. Action creates momentum, and momentum fuels progress. Start small if you have to, but start. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. Procrastination doesn't just delay success, it kills it. Every day spent waiting is a day wasted, a day you could have used to move closer to your goals. Don't let hesitation rob you of your potential. Force yourself to take action. Push past the excuses, the doubts, and the fears. Fear will always be present, but it loses its power when you act despite it. Step into your power. Recognize that you are capable of more than you think. You have the ability to change your life, rewrite your story, and create the future you desire. But it all begins with action. Make the decision that from this moment forward, you are unstoppable. Commit to showing up for yourself every single day, regardless of how you feel. Motivation may come and go, but discipline and action are what will carry you through. Success is built on consistency, not fleeting bursts of inspiration. Your future depends on what you do right now. The choices you make today will shape the life you live tomorrow. There is no magic formula, no secret shortcut, only action, persistence, and determination. So stop waiting, stop making excuses, start doing. Your time is now.